podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Achtung Millwall. Broadcasting from beautiful South Bermondsey, it's the #1 Millwall podcast. Accept no substitute.
Hello, good morning and welcome, dear listeners. Welcome to part 2 of the voicemail show in the wake of the Oxford win on Saturday. 2-0 win for the Lions, of course, at home, which secured third place and hence the excitement of playoff football. Just looking at the club website, the tickets for the away leg versus Hull City of the playoffs this coming Friday night have entirely sold out. 2,300 allocation, sold out in a flash. And I'm just looking at the home leg, dear listeners, which is at the moment on sale to season ticket holders and members. It's not sold out, but the tickets are shifting fast. Open to season ticket holders, official members and junior members. So I'm just looking at my own dear Block 1 where I sit. I'm bird shit corner where I'm going to be. Looks like it's 1 or 2 seats available. You can get in on the ends of the blocks. Otherwise it's odds and sods through the main part of the West Upper Stand, listeners. Individual tickets here, there and everywhere. So there will be tickets, but they're going to move very, very fast for the frenzy that is playoff football. Millwall in the Championship playoffs, first time for 25 years since the days of Mark McGee, Tim Cahill, Steve Claridge, Dion Dublin, all of that, all over again. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to be honest, it's the crowning glory of a season that I didn't really, at the start of it, I was hoping for playoff football was the outcome. You never expect anything as a Millwall supporter, do you, dear listeners? You know, you should manage your expectations in this life, but I do think we're in with a very, very strong shout across the 2 legs of Hull City, home and away. And then who knows? Playoff finals are, if we get there, I should say, but they're lotteries and one-off events. So, certainly the biggest games in Millwall history for 25 years since the last time we were at this level. That's something to say. Now then, dear listeners, this is the second edition of the voicemail show. Did a few voicemails in yesterday's show, but I wanted to complete the contributions. I do want to say a huge thank you to everyone that sends me the voicemails. As I've said a few times on these shows, I really enjoy listening to the different points of view, different voices. Gives you a real range of perspectives on our club. Obviously, we're at the stage of the season now where we don't know where we're going to finish. I do intend to carry on doing the show next season. I love the voicemails, so do keep them coming. And if you want to join in the voicemail gang, give me a shout on X at Achtung Millwall, or you can email me, achtungmillwall@gmail.com. We'll have to exchange mobile numbers so you can send your WhatsApp messages to me. You can do voice notes, send them via WhatsApp. Post-match, always welcome. More the merrier. If I have to do 2 shows, do 3 shows, I'll do them all. Listeners, you keep them coming. I'll keep knocking out the additions. Now then, we're going to begin today's show with the first of our contributions. It's from Bobby T. Let's have a listen to Bobby.
Oh, good afternoon, Nick. Achtung Millwall for the last time this season. Oh, there's playoffs. But look, I guess Alex knew later. But fucking QPR, fucking cunts, fucking wet whites, didn't even want to show up after fucking 9 minutes. Like, okay, let's be realistic, Nick. Bobby T here. I am deflated. I'm proud of an amazing season, Alex Hill, for the boys. If you said that we'd finished 3rd, highest position in 36 years or 38 years, yeah, I would have took your hand off. But what fucking annoys me, QPR, that's my 13 I fucking hate now. I'm added to the fucking list for fucking stupid West Ham, Palace, and that QPR cunts. Didn't even, if they'd got, anyway, ifs and buts, fucking let's move on. Let's not put a negative to this thingy. Yeah, and that's it basically. We done our job. Now Barry Bannon's old and all that, but he's got a head, he's got a brain, he's got the pass. And I look back on it now, I do feel a bit sick and a bit gutted. Shall I tell you why? It's because we had it in our hands to beat Leicester. If Barry Bannon starts, Alex Hill doesn't fancy him. He starts, he provides goals, through balls. Anyway, it didn't happen. He didn't play him. West Brom away. So now we could be here today, promoted. Ipswich, no, they don't fucking deserve it because we are bottlers. Southampton fans are right. We're bottlers. Anyway, so I think it's going to be Mill Southampton final. Holland back. Yeah, we'll see about that. McBurney, they're a bit tricky if you ask me. Great season, Nick Achtung. Well, Bobby T. Sandon, I love you all. I'm not going to lie to you. In the ground and not saying flat. Done my job 2-0. QPR, again, I keep mentioning, but look, let me just quickly end it. Right, we've done it to ourselves. Playoffs, we've got a chance now to go to the final and beat Southampton in the final all borough. Have you seen their players? Like Aziz, not Aziz, Azaz, Bella Harder Bell, Roger, fucking no, Southampton. Look, I think it's going to be all over again, Barnsley. We're losing, we come back next year stronger, I reckon. That's what I reckon. Anyway, Bobby signing off. End of season, vibe to it. We're in the playoffs. Love you all, Bobby T. Nico, Bobby T. Oh, fuck you. Do you know what? I'm just showing you a picture now, right, for the playoffs. Barry Bannon is fucking key now, right? Because, yeah, great season, Nick Hart and all that. Yeah, we flattered towards the end, depleted. Playoffs, if you want to stand a chance against Hull in the final, Hull and then in Southampton in the final, Bannon has got to stay. And Denor, obviously, fucking Taylor's out with a broken foot. Keep Leonard solid. Aziz, yeah. Ballo, yeah. I bring Mitchell and Doughty for experience now. Sacco, yeah. And Josh Coburn's injured now, but for the playoffs, he should be back. So Mahalo, yeah. And nice stuff coming on. So the only thing, yeah, Alex Neil, Nico Achtung will Barry Bannon now. He's got to start both legs Holloway and at Wembley, and I can unlock the defences. Because if he played at Leicester and West Brom, we'd be in the Premiership. That's why I'm a sour grapes and I'm slightly deflated. Bye for now, Bobby T.
Thank you, Bobby. Huge thanks, mate. As always great content from Bobby T. Real sense of deflation in the den on Saturday. You could just tell I had no reception on my mobile, listeners, so I couldn't tell. I told you doing my in-game stuff what the score was, but you could kind of sense around me. In the end, the guy next to me got some reception and said that QPR were 2-0 down inside 10 minutes. You can't go through this life depending on the likes of QPR. That's the message. Going back to Bobby's point about points dropped, I mean, this has been a fairly common view. I've seen loads of comments on X about, if only we'd have done this, if only we'd got a goal there. You can go through the whole season like that. Go right back to the opening fixtures of back in August where, some points were won, some points were lost. This is the nature of 46-game league programme. So I know people are going to be disappointed. It's actually a huge achievement, and it's no great consolation when, you feel like you've missed out. But truth of the matter, dear listeners, Barry Bannon's an interesting point Bobby's making there, because I happened to hear a recording of Alex Neil's post-match press conference, and I can't remember how he put it now, but it was words to the effect of that he'll use Barry Bannon, but probably in situations or games or opponents where he's likely to get a lot of the ball and can, from deep, influence the outcome of a game. I think he sees it as horses for courses. I think that's probably the best way to put it. And I think he does see a role for Bannon, but maybe not as a starter. Certainly not in high pressure, high press situations such as we're probably going to face away at the MKM and then back at the Den next Monday night. Interesting stuff. Big thank you, though, to Bobby T. Always good to hear from you, Bob. Thanks a lot, mate. We're going to have a listen now to Aussie Dave.
Nick, Aussie Dave after the game. And then we're in the playoffs. Yes, I've been following the Wall for 65 years, and this is in the top 10. What a day. Right, what are we going to review? Reasons to be cheerful. 1, team is in form, particularly haven't lost the last 5 games. 2, players in form. Aziz looks up there. Negley as well as playing well. 3, we've got an almost full squad. Billy, Doughty, Smallbone coming back, and hopefully Coburn. Only missing Taylor. 4, we've got the full midfield complement now of all the midfielders available, especially Barry Bannon. 5, we've got a great manager who's done the playoffs before, And 6, we've avoided Southampton and Borough, and I reckon Hull is okay. So, come on, you Lions.
Big shout out to Dave out there in Western Australia, mate. Well done. 65 years on the Lions from the other side of the world now. That's incredible, really. We do have some amazing fans from various parts. I mentioned Rob Abbott, who flies over from Dublin for, home and away games. And I met Dave myself, had the pleasure of meeting him this season at the Den when he was over. Jimmy Webb, also from Australia now, in the Den on Saturday. It's incredible, the passion and the loyalty that our club engenders in our fans. Big shout out to everyone that listens to this show, wherever you are around the world. I do believe you're right, Dave. I mean, top 10, I don't do 65 years. I can do about 54 years, so a little bit less than you, Dave. But this is one of the best seasons in, maybe one or two get edge it. Obviously, promotion is in '88. That's the one. But this is getting very close to it, and we still haven't had the outcome yet. We've got playoff football over a side that I don't like to tempt the gods of football here, kids, because they can take against you, can't they? For hubris, that's the great sin of Greek mythology, pride. But I do believe that Hull are beatable. And take your pick out of Middlesbrough and Southampton in a one-off game in the final. That's the target. That's what we're hoping to achieve once we get past Hull. If we get past Hull, hubris again, football gods. And we're close. Is it achingly close? I do agree that Aziz and Negley are starting to find their form. I think they're big-time players. I think they're players that respond to the attention, the spotlight. You just see it in the way Femi swaggers onto the pitch. He loves a bit of jip off the opposing fans, and he likes to turn it on and put his finger to his lips and shush them quiet. He's that kind of player, and big-time players can do that. Negley, what a touch that boy's got. He was pulling moves and taking balls on Saturday, I thought quite breathtaking. He's really developed into a top-looking player now, Camille Negley. So, as for midfield, I will be surprised if Barry Bannon takes the field as a starter at Hull City, or indeed in the home leg. This is going to be two tight games, and I think if Billy's up to it, we'll certainly see the bulk of probably both games if he can do it. He might only get 60 minutes, and then maybe a Derek or possibly a Bannon if we're looking to open the game out a little bit. But I think it's going to be the old routine of Casper De Norre and Billy Mitchell. That's what I would go for if I were Alex Neil, and I wouldn't presume to lecture him on team selection. But I would think Mitchell and De Norre, possibly with the likes of Derek and Cundall, and possibly even Bannon if we're looking to find a gap in the and you might see get Bannon in more in the second leg, perhaps, possibly in the final if we get there. Who knows? Big thank you, Aussie Dave. Let's have a listen now to Hassan.
Hi Nick, it's Hassan here. Just ringing in after Mill 2, Oxford United 0. It wasn't meant to be, sadly. QPR, they're, as you said before, they're not on the beach. They're in the bar. I think they've made their way to the all-inclusive buffet, and they're probably on their way to the nightclub now, as we speak. But that's that. As the game itself, it had like a very, very much end-of-season feel. I think Oxford themselves are probably on the beach as well. They didn't really put much of a fight. I don't think we got out of second gear, to be honest with you, to beating them. We played some really nice football at times, and if we can repeat some of that going into the playoffs, then we could do some damage to Hull City. But yeah, great goals from Aziz. Could have got a hat-trick. A couple of other players could have scored as well. Special mentions to Cooper, Karama, another good game. They weren't really tested that much. Sturge played well. Aziz, fantastic. Barry Bannon, my God, man of the match for me. Absolutely ran the show. And I think we've unlocked another way of playing in that middle of the park, going from Billy Mitchell to Mazur Sacco to Barry Bannon. I think with Barry Bannon, I think he'd be good for the big games. He will pick players out and put the ball on a sixpence. Great performance. I know it was Oxford United and all this and that, but I thought he was fantastic and very much deserved a standing ovation today. Good to see Will Smallbone back. Alfie Doughty looks like he's put on a couple of pounds, but it's good for him to be back in the fold, and Billy Mitchell as well. I noticed at the end of the game when the players were doing the lap of honour, I think Taylor, he's done for the season. He was on crutches in a boot, so that's a big body blow there not to have him for the playoffs. Coburn looked like he was walking around all right, which is a good sign. But yeah, overall, happy, good performance, and it's typical Millwall. We have to do it the hard way. We'll go to Hull next week, Friday, see what we can do, and getting back to the den on the Monday. Couple of special mentions. Imaku, I want to take my hat off to him. He gave us he said some glowing words in the week, and he got a very nice standing ovation towards the end in the commotion. With a few people running onto the pitch, which was always expected. He'd done a little lap of honour himself, and rightly deserves. He you can never lock the Mackin for effort. In terms of skill set, it's questionable, but always put 100% in. And good luck to him with his future endeavours with Oxford. And I hope Jake Cooper and family are well in the presentation. I don't know who was the MC, but he said that Cooper had to rush off due to the family emergency. So I really hope it's nothing serious. And, we're all thinking of you, Coops. And congratulations on winning the Player of the Year award as well. I don't know much else to say, really. Alex Neil, what a manager. He's done so well this season. And our story's not done yet. It continues on to Hull next week. And you know what? We should be going there with very much confidence, with all the confidence in the world. We've got a good set of players. We've played some good football. I think some players are starting to click at the right time. Look at the likes of Negley, Aziz, Karma. It's all starting to piece together. So let's go up there full confidence. Oh, it will be a sellout, no doubt. Friday night or not, we'll be up there. And let's give it a go. I know it's not the last of the voicemails, but as it's the regular season over, I just want to say thank you, Nick. Thank you to your show. It's been fantastic listening to you and leaving voicemails, and also all your other contributors. Been great listening to everyone's points of view. It's always nice to hear other fans, to hear what they say, and sometimes to confirm our own thoughts and feelings. Sometimes I walk away from games thinking I must be mad thinking this, and then you hear someone else echo the same thoughts. So onwards and upwards. Come on, you Lions.
Very kind words there from Hassan. Big thank you to you too, mate. Always look forward to your contributions. I like I said at the start of the show, I do enjoy these voicemail editions. It just gives you a wider spread of viewpoints, different voices, just gives you a different kind of angle on it. Or otherwise it can be a bit of a monologue sometimes with, if it's just me yakking on, then it's nice to have an alternative opinion, an alternative voice to work with. Just on the Coops presentation, there was anyone didn't know or wasn't there perhaps, after the game we had the presentations of the various second, third place for player of the season, goal of the season, which was Caleb Taylor, save of the season, which is one that's kind of gone under the radar a little bit, which is Anthony Patterson, their save he made at Birmingham, which is a fantastic save. It's a nice idea, actually, because goalkeepers otherwise are very rarely going to be included on the, maybe player of the season. I know we've had Bart Bielkowski in our time, and I think back in the day, Tony Warner got it. But you know what I mean? It's not a glory position in quite the same way as the centre forward or the attacking midfielder or even the stout defender can be. So the save of the season, I'm just going to give that a shout. I don't think I've seen huge amounts of mentions for it online to Anthony Patterson. It was a world-class save he made at Birmingham. If you have a look on the club's Twitter feed, they've got you have to scroll down a bit to find it, but they've got a video of the save. It's well worth a watch. But yeah, Max McClellan posted after Saturday that Coops and his family are well and everyone is okay, nothing to worry about, which is great news, says Max. He sends his appreciation to all the fans for their support and best wishes on this. We'll look at how to celebrate his Player of the Season award prior to the kick-off against Hull City. That'll probably be Monday night. It will be fantastic to say well done to Jake Cooper. This has been an immense season. Also, a big shout-out to Tristan Kramer and to Femi Aziz, who would be, in ordinary times, may well be strong contenders. They were second and third, strong contenders for Player of the Season. So there we are. You're right about Taylor, Hassan. He was at the end of season awards. I keep banging on about this. I've got to stop. But he was there in that protective boot and with crutches, and I thought then I doubt we'll see much of him, in any playoff football as it was at that point. But there we are. Idemo. I just want to give a shout out. I mentioned him in the other show, but there's the video of him doing a lap of honour. He got really nice applause. He's a very well-liked boy. He's a likeable boy. I met him, had the pleasure of meeting him at last year's event. There I go again. But he's a very nice kid. And, that's all you can do in this life. And he got a good reception. We can talk about, whether he would be an asset in the side now. I still think he would have a place, but he was after first team football, and I can't blame him for that. That's the whole point of being a professional, isn't it, dear listeners? Barry Bannon, man of the match, as we've said already. Yep. We'll see what we get from Barry Bannon. I think he'll have a role to play, but like I've said already, I'll be kind of surprised if he starts in the games ahead. The 2 games against Hull City, certainly. But anything else beyond that, we'll see. Big thank you to Hassan. We're going to take a very short break for any adverts that may appear. Then we'll come back with Mike George.
Achtung, Millwall.
So here we are in the playoffs. Job done. Well, we had to rely on Queen's Park Ha-Ha for a result up at Ipswich. And of course, you can't rely on them to do anything, can you? So they lost 2-0, which I suppose a lot of people, and I know Rob Woodford would say, was inevitable. They were always going to lose that game. But it was down to us. All we had to do was win to achieve third place, and we've done that, okay? Absolutely fully rammed at the Den. 2 goals from Femi Aziz. Oxford, bless them, looked like they were on the beach, really, in the second half. The first half, they were just poor. But Millwall were dominant throughout and led by a masterclass from Barry Bannon, who showed everyone how to play in midfield. So good job. We now face Hull, although at one time it looked like we were going to play Derby for a while. But no, it's Hull. So we play on Friday and then on the Monday, first leg away. And let's hope that Millwall's away form continues and we get a result up there. So all we've got to do is cruise to, a nice narrow 1-0 victory will be great. And then we can all go back to Wembley, a place we haven't visited for a while. Come on, you Lions.
Big thank you to Mike George there, dear listeners. I just wanted to give a mention to a good idea by the club. We've been run very professionally on and off the pitch, and that's not least shown here by this post that you can watch the playoff semi-final on Friday night in Doherty's Bar at the Den. Season ticket holders can purchase a ticket, which gives you a not free, is it? You're paying £6, I think, is the ticket, but you get a free drink. If I get that there's nothing free in this life, but you get a drink included within that ticket. That's probably the better way to put it. From 6 o'clock at the Den, Friday the 8th of May, watch the Millwall versus Hull first leg playoff at the MKM Stadium in Doherty's Bar with similarly like-minded individuals. Good move by the club. It'd be great to see Doherty's used more often for these kinds of away games. I mean, I think people will I hope they use it. I hope it gets well supported. Certainly for a big game like that. I also wanted to give a shout out to Phil Clark's fans games in support of the Lions Food Hub, and also the Dementia UK. I'm just trying to find the post here. Found the post here. So there's 2 games being played at the Den for fans who want to take part. Your chance to play on the Halcyon turf, the sacred turf. 15th of May 2026, a 6:30 kickoff. That's a Lions Food Hub Cup, so under 40s for that one. That's in support of Takings in support of the Lions Food Hub. Does fantastic work. We support it on this podcast. Terrific work being done for families who are in need in SE16. So great calls there. 15th of May 2026, 6:30 kickoff, under 40s game there for the Lions Food Hub Club. And then the 22nd of May, 1 week later, the Paul Jiggins Memorial Cup. Stalwart fan, journalist, Paul Jiggo. That's an over 40s game, 6:30 again on the 22nd of May. Donations to be made to Lions Food Hub and Alzheimer's, not dementia, Alzheimer's. Do check out Phil's X account. That's at Phil Clark with an E, 0170. 0170. Phil Clark with an E, 0170. You get details as to contact to get in on those fans' games. Also, just flicking through to find those two details there. I just want to give a shout out to Phil's dad, 92, and was there on Saturday. Possibly one more game, as Phil's put it there. So big shout out to Mr. Clark and congratulations to him for still being there after all these many years. Shout out to Phil as well. Let's move along now, listeners. Have a listen to Martin Colwell.
Oh, hi, Nick. It's Martin Colwell. Just calling about the Oxford game, which was an anticlimax, wasn't it? What with Ipswich going 2-0 up early in the game and killed the atmosphere a bit, really, didn't it? But the Lions did what they had to do, didn't they? Simple game, really. Oxford had a few chances, but Millwall could have upped the gas. Well, a great game from Barry Bannon. Showed that he is the best footballer in the team. What I call footballer is someone who can pull passes and control a game. And he kept going, didn't he, to the 80th minute. So will be very useful to us if we can keep him fit, which he seems to be a fit bloke, even just because of his age doesn't mean he's not fit. Couple of things that worry me slightly going forward is I don't want Zach Sturge to get injured because I think he's quite dynamic, and I think when Alfie Doughty came on, he looked as slow as a steamroller. I'll forgive him having not a good touch because he's not played for a while, but he looked really slow, didn't he? You know, and that could be that would be a problem in the playoffs if he had to play left back. And also Jake Coburn, he needs to play, doesn't he? Definitely, because Ivanovic is a shadow of Jake Coburn, and we won that game despite Ivanovic, not through him. And I don't want to knock him, but, you know, he just really was not in the game a lot. But yeah, I mean, good performances all round, really. I mean, we did what we had to do, didn't we? Not journeying up to Hull. Pleased to get Hull. I think they're the weakest team out of the teams that were vying for sixth place. Wasn't scared of Wrexham because they let in goals, so you can you'll always get chances against them, despite their attack. And I think Derby were a solid team, but not that good. But yeah, I mean we've beaten Hull. They've beaten us. We've beaten Hull. So I think we can beat them again over two legs. And really, if we can't beat Hull over two legs, then, you know, we kind of don't deserve it, really. But yeah, it's really important that those two players play, I think. I think we'll see Billy Mitchell back and Bannon given a cameo role, because I still don't think Casper Denor is lasting all of the games, is he? So I think Billy Mitchell will be on as well, and probably swap both of them as the game goes on into the latter stages, because, you know, Friday and Monday's quite a quick turnaround, isn't it? But yeah, the crowd got behind the game. There was a good atmosphere down there. It was quite tense beforehand, and then obviously it got into party mode, and then it died again. Yeah, and I've just got to get tickets now for the second leg. Battle through that, really. That's been awkward. I've not been able to get it to work on the internet, and I couldn't get through on the phone yesterday, but I'll keep trying. I'm sure I'll do it, even if I have to turn up down there Monday morning. But yeah, we look ready to go. I don't see us not being able to win these playoffs. I know Middlesbrough or Southampton particularly will be good teams, but in a cup final is a cup final, isn't it? It's who turns up on the day, and you can use the pitch at Wembley, the width of it, you know. And I think we can do that if the first 11 are fit. I mean, probably Caleb Taylor won't, but other than that, if they're fit, then we can, we can beat anyone on our day, really. But that's a cup final, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Well done, everyone, and come on, you Lions.
Cheers, Martin. Yeah, I think we can approach the playoffs with confidence. And, just trying to think how many times have I been able to say that in my life, playoff terms anyway. There's always been a sense at Millwall that disaster lurks around the next corner. I was thinking back, even on the promotion season, 87-88, I don't think I personally truly started to believe in promotion. I can remember the moment quite well because we beat Stoke at the Den 2-0 late in April. And that was the first moment where I thought, blimey, we are now looking at promotion, if not championship. I didn't expect us to lift the trophy, but I certainly started to believe that promotion was a very real prospect. I think we had Hull City away, which was the crucial game, and then the return fixture at the Den with Blackburn Rovers, which we were famously under the influence for. But yeah, that was quite late in the day before I started to believe that promotion was a possibility. Did I believe it in the playoffs of the early 90s? Probably don't remember thinking that way. Certainly in 2001-2, I thought we were in with a chance, but I actually feel quite confident now. I'm sure the football gods sitting on top of the Selchip power station playing chess with the lives of mortals will be having a right old laugh at this and probably lining up to, put me in my place. But I think if, as Martin has just said, Caleb Taylor apart, I think he's probably out for the remainder of the season now, such as it is. But otherwise, we've got a reasonably fit or returning to fitness squad. And that's a pretty good place to be in. I really am hoping, like Martin said, that we have Josh Coburn up front because I think he does bring a certain physicality and threat in front of goal that, as much as I like Mihailo, I think he's more of a spectacular player rather than the grind player that we probably need, certainly in the way that we're playing at the moment. That said, I did like the way that Mihailo spread the ball for the opening goal, Femi Aziz's goal, that move down the left, and then he spread play from the centre out into the path of Aziz, who put it away with aplomb. So yeah, I mean, I think that we may well see Mitchell and whether we'll rotate Mitchell and Casper or not, I don't know. In midfield, like I said earlier on, I'll stand to be corrected. I don't know that we'll see Barry Bannon starting unless we're suddenly afflicted with the Black Plague or something or other, and we've got players unavailable. But I think Martin made a point about Zach Sturge as well, just a memory. I really like Zach Sturge. I think it's been a great season for the boy, and he's increasingly looking assured in that left-back role. Doughty coming in, clearly he's an experienced player. He does look like he's just returning after a lengthy period out, so I doubt we'll start him, but he's a good attribute to have if we're looking to, not push forward down the left too much, and some experience coming in. I think that's probably the way I'd put it with Doughty. There we go. Approach it with confidence. That's my message to the Millwall support, dear listeners. Okay, I'm going to play the last three messages one after the other, and I'll be back after these remaining three voicemails. First is Adam Wicks, then Barnsey, and Glyn Horner to finish. I'll be back after Glyn.
Morning, Nick. Just Adam Wicks here, leaving my thoughts after yesterday's 2-0 home win against Oxford. It was quite a fitting way to round things up, wasn't it? I think a third place finish is amazing achievement all round for us. I think it's absolutely sensational. Everybody should be, highly commended, and I think, as Alex Neil rightly said, we can go and attack the playoffs now, and I've got to say I really like that choice of phrase, because I think, I'd say as most of us would probably view things, but definitely me, I'm always prefer us having a go, and if we have a go and we come unstuck, that's fine by me. What obviously you don't want is to sort of play within yourselves and just think about the what ifs. So if we go, we have a right go and see what happens. That is absolutely fine by me. I couldn't be really much happier with how this season's panned out. And, it turns that we return to the scene of one of the greatest days in our club's history for the playoff semi-final. I think I was 7 years old when my dad took me up there for the game in 1988. I'm very much looking to getting up there with my kids on Friday, and hopefully it can be the start of another epic chapter in this club's history. Just very, 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 very happy with everybody, from the chairman down to the manager to the players, the staff, everybody involved is, they're a credit to themselves, and I'm, one very proud Millwall fan this morning. So like I said, trains booked, hotels booked. I'm really looking forward to it. Come on, you Lions.
Hello, Nick. It's Barnsley here. I just thought I'd give my take on today's day. We come up short, didn't we, unfortunately, but, it was always going to be a big ask for a team that, were on the beach, should we say, lost the last 3 games or 2 games, to go to Ipswich and try and get a result. And, 2 goals in 9 minutes, you sort of think, well, fair enough, that's it. We're in the playoffs. But we're still very professional today. I thought we were very good. Obviously, losing Coburn. I think what got me today was how many balls were played into that box. And Coburn must be sitting there thinking, why don't we do this when I play? Because I can get on the end of these. And we just didn't really have that cutting edge, did we? And, it was getting a bit, a bit nervy, should we say, or not. But we were fully in control. I know he had they had the first chance. But we were banging on the door. And we were very good. I thought, Camille didn't have his best game personally, but that shows up what high level that fella's playing at. And obviously we'll come on to in my man of the match, but a very close second was Mr. Bannon. I thought he was phenomenal today, and some of the, you didn't know that a fellow who's that age. He was all over the park, and I thought he was brilliant today. And I thought he definitely the best performance in a Lions shirt today. I thought he was fantastic. I thought defensively we looked decent. I thought Sturge was good. I thought, obviously Leonard was still very, very good. We've got some players there, sort of older heads, shall we say. But, the goal was fantastic from the back, and we played it played it for Camille into BFS, and then he plays the ball into Femi Aziz, and Femi Aziz does what he does, and he just rockets it in there, and that settled everyone down a bit. And I think, I think everyone sort of was out that we were going to be in the playoffs, but we didn't sort of stand back, did we, in the second half? We were thinking, if Oxford get a chance. But then we got the second goal, some lovely feet by Bannon, and then obviously the cross from Sturge, and then a little touch from the defender. But, who's there again? Mr. Aziz, who was my man of the match. He was, doing it with boners at one point. He just looked like he's enjoying himself, and he looked back to his best. And just confidence, the guy was putting balls in areas. If we can have Ivanovic to read those, passes where he's going to put the ball into that area, that guy can get 20 goals just on Aziz's, crosses. But, we're decent. It's great to see Smallbone and, Mitchell back again. It's brilliant. It's good. We've got a strong team now. And if we get Coburn back in that team, it'll be brilliant. I still think, for me, I still want Doherty a little bit more forward and not in a left-back position. I still think he has that sort of lapse in of concentration where balls goes in behind him. It's like, oh, hello. It's like the fellow was one-on-one potentially, but he got back. But it's that big hole. I think he needs to be a bit more forward for me. But him coming back was fantastic. That guy's crossing is phenomenal. But it was Aziz's game today. But Bannon was absolutely fantastic, and we go again. I would have been happy playing Derby. I would have been playing, Disney FC, should we say? But we know we got Hull now, and I've been impressed with Hull. I thought they battered us at home, and they battered us, at their ground as well. But we got the result. So they're not in the greatest form, but we can win this. We can get up there and, get the result and get them down to our place, because it's going to be a bit of a cauldron. I just hope the tickets, available for the right people, and we make that place an absolute horrible place to go next Monday. Because if we can keep it tight up there, get a result up there, draw maybe, it's going to be nervy, but we can do this. We can do it. I'm not afraid of anyone now, and if we can get that second leg at our place and we make it a horrible cauldron, as I said, like we did for the Huddersfield game, no one will want to play us. And then we got that horrible trip to Wembley, but we'll worry about that later. But do you know what? So proud of everyone, the players, the staff, everyone, the back, the chairman, everyone of that club, because we've had an absolute fantastic season. I think, we should be commended of where we should be. I think we are a year of before we should be. Beginning of the year, I thought maybe we could sneak in the playoffs, but we've cemented our place in the playoffs, and that's all credit to one man, Mr. Alex Neil, and we've got a manager there, and wow, what a job that man's done. Another Scottish manager. They seem to like us, don't we? But we've got season's not over, which is great for us. Not for you, mate. You probably want to rest now. You want to get on the old beach and put your feet up. But anyway, keep up the good work. I can't wait to hear everyone else's opinions. But we've had a slightly disappointing day, but in a way, I'm not too disappointed, because this team is magic, and if we can go up via the playoffs, then so be it. All right, mate. Take care.
Hello, Nick. Glyn here. So that was a fitting end to the season, wasn't it? A great performance. Really good all-round team performance. Alex Neil demonstrating that he knows exactly how to manage a game and exactly how to prepare his team for a playoff campaign. Taking the substitutes off at the right time, putting the right people on to give them enough minutes so that they can hopefully impact the playoffs. I think for me, the really encouraging thing was seeing some players really now coming back into their best form. I mean, the likes of Ballo and Sturge on the left now are looking like a proper unit. Femi Aziz is looking like the guy at the beginning of the season, and Ryan Leonard rolling back the years. I mean, he hasn't quite got the pace he used to have, but he's doing a fantastic job. And I think in the absence of Caleb Taylor, who is a miss, we've moved Cranmer back into the centre, and he always takes a game or two to readjust to a change in position. But he's now playing at the levels we would expect him to, and I thought he had one of his best centre-back performances today. And speaking of best performances, I think Barry Bannon had his best performance in a Millwall shirt today as well. Really looked class. Maybe the fact that we had so much possession and that we knew we would have so much possession played, into his hands a bit, and that he made the most of that. So full credit to him. I do wonder against the likes of Hull, against the likes of, the other teams, Borough and Southampton, whether or not he will play the same type of role, because we'll probably be spending a lot less time with the ball. I guess we'll wait and see. But one thing's for sure, directors, management, players, the fans, despite, missing out by the automatic promotion by only 1 point and one place, I've never seen the club so united. And I've been following the club since the 80s. And it's an absolute pleasure to watch. And I reckon any of those other playoff teams will be looking at us and they will be worried about facing us, because we are capable of beating any of them on our day. So, onwards and upwards. I really do feel quite confident about this playoff campaign. I hope I don't end up beating my words. I'm pretty sure I won't. Looking forward to seeing you all at Wembley. Come on, you Lions. Big thank you to Glyn, to Barnesy, and to Adam Wicks before Barnesy. Yeah, Glyn, I'm unfortunately, as soon as you put your lips to the microphone for any kind of podcast or, pens of paper or finger the keyboard, you run the risk of having your words thrown back at you as events unfold. I agree. I think I agree with the general thrust of everyone's messaging on this show, listeners. I think we can approach the playoffs with confidence. There's certainly nothing to fear. And I thought Glyn's point there was interesting about other teams fearing us. I think that's a real thing as well. I don't think anyone would really fancy playing Millwall home and away. The idea of coming to the Den with a packed house, and as I said at the start of the show, I was just looking at the home tickets just out of interest. The tickets are moving fast at the moment on sale to season ticket holders and members. I think there's one more day for season ticket holders to pick up their one more seat, it's going to be packed, and I hope it's packed with solid Millwall. And I'm not knocking the tourist market, because I appreciate where money comes from, and I think we all have to be just aware that that's a major source of income for the club. I know that the club are talking about making some changes to the layout of the stadium, so hopefully that will continue next season. But it is going to be so much better when it's just Millwall fans wall to wall, and it's going to be a wall of noise on Monday night. We need another Huddersfield in 2010, was that Huddersfield atmosphere, the famous one, the one where Paul Robinson was in the tunnel, and Lee Clark allegedly, don't think he did say that, I fucking hate this place, but everyone wants to believe that, and I want to believe it too, listeners. So yeah, we need a big atmosphere there on Monday night. Let's hope we can get a decent result there at Hull City on Monday night. Like a few others on this show, I'm going to go up there, driving up Friday afternoon. Attack the playoffs, as Adam Wicks put it, as Alex Neil said after the game. That's the mindset. That's what we want. Don't leave it in the dressing room, boys. That's my only message to the squad. I think we've played some tremendous football this season. It's been one of the best footballing years. Some of the games we've had since the early 2000s, the classics of the past. It's been at that level for me. I think, as Adam put it, an epic chapter in Mill history, and yet to unfold as well. So what a job. No rest from me, though, as Barnesy said, no rest. I was going to do shows after the away leg this coming weekend. So if you do fancy sending me your post-match voice note, it'd be well appreciated. I'm going to be speaking to Harry Evans on Sunday, so let me have him over the weekend. If you're interested, you can get me on Twitter at Achtung Millwall, or you can email me at achtungmillwall at gmail.com, and we'll exchange mobile numbers, so you can WhatsApp me. That's the easiest way to do this kind of thing. Be really great to hear from as many people as possible. And I'll be there Monday night. And will we have a third game after that? Will we have that Wembley final? Will we be on the way to Wembley? We'll find out about 10 o'clock Monday night. Fingers crossed. Till Friday, dear listeners, from me, Nick Hart, that's your lot. Arrivederci Millwall. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it. Bye for now.
When I was a little boy, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be Arsenal? Will I be Spurs? Here's what she said to me.